For 2 weeks now, I've been making a series of videos that allows me to delve heavily into the Scream franchise to bring you guys some of the removed, deleted and alternate scenes that didn't manage to see the light of day. Most of this information is taken from original scripts, drafts and interviews with cast and crew who worked on the movie. You can check out my other videos from this series in this playlist to help you guys navigate through the videos in episodic order. To make sure you don't miss out on this awesome Scream trivia though, be sure to hit subscribe and make sure you sign up for notifications so you don't miss a single update. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Scream 2022 and spotlighting a huge change to the original script that was completely edited out of the movie. More specifically though, we're going to be looking at the original, brutal planned death of Vince Schneider. His death was pretty quick in the movie we got, but the original version actually played out entirely different, and there's one deleted line from the original draft that explains in detail why Vince was killed. And before I go on with this, I just want to say that I found the Scream 2022 script to be somewhat of a slap in the face in many ways. I've currently read through quite a few drafts from different Scream entries overall, but 2022 is an interesting one because some elements are completely erased from the finished movie, but the reactions and sometimes the dialogue from certain characters remains, which makes my watch of the movie as it stands right now quite frustrating, as I'm not aware of what certain characters were responding to as opposed to what we see on screen. An example of this is the fact that in the original draft, Tara and Amber were actually in a romantic relationship, and I truly think this adds a better dynamic to the pair's on-screen chemistry. But there's a specific scene when the teens are in a bar, where in the version we have, Wes disagrees with Amber over her overprotectiveness of Tara. I'm going to play this brief moment here so you guys can understand what I'm talking about.
Okay, so no guys are good enough for her, and now her family's off limits too.
Motive. If I can't have her, no one can.
In the original draft, however, Mindy actually was saying this line in response to the discovery that Tara dumped Wes for Amber. Amber was gloating that Tara needed no persuasion to dump Wes in favour of her, and thus the line, "If I can't have her, no one can" line came. The original script is littered with these plot elements that was removed, but the lines of dialogue weren't cut. I'll cover this more extensively this week, but today we're discussing Vince's death scene. The character was pretty bland for me, I'll be honest. He didn't really add a whole lot to the story except for the reveal that he was related to Stu Macher, which was sort of forgotten about the moment it was mentioned. His death was so quick in the movie that it barely left much of an imprint on my mind. However, the original version was far more tense, more dark, and far more memorable in my opinion. The entire sequence plays out more or less the same, but the difference here is that Ghostface seriously messes with Vince before he kills him. So, picture the bar scene taking place. Vince argues with Chad over Liv, he eventually is thrown out. Let's take a look at the scene that follows. Vince stumbles to the side of the building and takes a leak on the wall. Part necessity, mostly spite. "Fuck this bar," says Vince. A shape passes him. Vince shakes it off, zips up and walks to his pickup, gets in, angrily slams the door and revs his engine. Vince speeds down a country road, a thwarping sound. The truck's pulling left. What the fuck? Vince, motherfucker. He pulls over, wide open fields on both sides of the road. Vince finds his right rear tyre is flat, a knife sticking out of it. Vince, livid. Vince, Riley, you piece of shit. Vince goes to the covered truck bed, about to open the tailgate when he pauses. Vince is an idiot, but even idiots know that mass killers jump out of things like truck beds. He girds himself, pops the latch, opens the gate. Nothing. He exhales, takes out the spur and the jack. Time cut to Vince as he raises the truck with his jack. Crank, crank, crank. About to tackle the first lug nut when he hears it. Drip, drip, drip. Vince squats down. It's brake fluid, leaking from a cut line. "Fuck," said Vince. Vince retrieves his toolbox from the bed and shimmies under the truck, rummages for tape for an emergency temp fix. Vince, so fucking dead. Try and kill me, I'll fuck you the fuck up. And then, footsteps crunching gravel on the shoulder of the road. But from where? There haven't been any cars. Nothing but empty space for as far as the eye can see. Vince, who's there? Black, muddy boots appear in Vince's field of vision. Vince, you can fuck off, I got this. But the booted individual does not fuck off. Rather, the fringes of a Ghostface robe descend into view. Vince, I said, shunk, a butcher knife sinks into the flesh of Vince's thigh. He screams and tucks his legs under the truck. Vince, I'll fucking kill you, Riley. Vince scrabbles to the other side, starts to slide out. Slash. A deep gash appears on his forearm. He yelps, retreats under the truck again. Wham! The jack is kicked out and the truck bottom nearly smashes Vince's face in. Fuck you! Then the engine starts. No fucking way, said Vince. Vince rolls out on the driver's side and rises, expecting to find his attacker in the driver's seat. But Ghostface is waiting in the bed of the truck. He buries his knife in Vince's face and we smash too. Sam's eyes shoot open and she jolts awake. I mean, this played out better, right? His death was so quick in the movie we got, it was just a quick stab and he was dead. I suppose I took this as Ghostface taking him out fast, as the killer wasn't 100% sure they'd be able to tackle Vince with ease, considering he'd already shown he had a knife in the bar scene. He also seemed quite capable, but nevertheless, I actually do prefer this version we got in the original draft. The mental games that the killer plays on him and how he gradually turns it around to attack Vince in such a brutal way. I felt this would have been awesome to see on screen, and I'm unsure why it was cut. So another large aspect to add to this character was removed also. I've often wondered what the significance of his death was. It's revealed that he was Leslie Marker's son, but it wasn't exactly something that was explained in detail, or why the death was relevant to this particular killing spree. Well, in the original draft, we get some insight into this. So remember that Amber and Richie were attempting to frame Sam for the murders of this current killing spree, meaning that everything they did was to make it seem like she was responsible. During the revelation that Vince was Leslie Marker's son, the original draft had one throwaway line which completely confirmed why he was killed. Let's take a quick read. Amber, Vince is not unconnected. Everyone turns to Amber, who's staring at her phone. Amber, I googled him, his mum is Leslie Marker, Stu Marker's sister. Liv, who's Stu Marker? Mindy, Billy Loomis's accomplice. Liv, try and keep up. Liv shoots her the finger. Sam, so the first 3 attacks are all on people related to the original killers. It's almost like he's taking revenge against them. Fast forward here to Mindy. Please, I think it's pretty clear who the killer is at this point. Sam, who? Mindy, you. I mean, obviously. Sam blinks. Excuse me? Mindy, you're Billy Loomis's daughter. Who better to inherit the mantle and carry the series forward? You hurt Tara, but don't kill her, which gives you a reason to come back to Woodsboro and go on a rampage, getting revenge on the town for the death of your father. It makes perfect sense. So, very briefly, Vince was killed because Richie and Amber were attempting to make it seem like Sam had returned and was murdering the people connected to her father's original spree as an act of revenge. It's completely crazy, but this wasn't explained in detail on screen. There wasn't any major overture on why Vince was targeted, but Vince being Stu Marker's nephew was possibly one of the hugest additions to the body pile in this movie. It showed that Sam purposely targeted Vince as a way of attacking the fact that Stu was Billy's accomplice. The fact that this is specifically stated in the original draft actually allowed me to appreciate his death so much more. But what do you guys think? Does this information change anything for you guys? Share your opinions below. As usual, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and look out for more Great Scream content on the way.